It is time for an island of Cinnabar. Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Pokemon LeafGreen. Last time, we managed to get past Seaform Islands, catching ourselves a legendary Pokemon, Articuno, one of the 3 legendary birds of the game, and we managed to get to Cinnabar Island, of course. This time, we're going to be actually checking out Cinnabar Island and seeing what we can do. I completely forgot to heal in the last episode, so I apologize in that advance, but at the same time, let's check out the Articuno we grabbed. So, Articuno didn't take that long to catch, although Tank being stuck frozen for several turns is admittedly one of the worst things about it. Let's see what the Iceburb's nature is. Jolly nature! Jolly nature would have been... Oh, that makes sense. Minus special attack plus speed. That's kind of a bad nature on Articuno, but at the same time, I don't really care all that much. It's really not matter in the slightest. So, since we're done with that, we can actually check out the place to our right and see if the shop has it for us. This is the last shop in the game, so technically speaking, it should sell a lot of good things. And indeed it does. It sells a lot of Ultra Balls, which we are going to need a lot of them. I'm going to buy... I can't buy 18. I'm going to buy at least... You know what? Buy 12. Just buy 12 for the sake of it. And then I know I have nuggets in my inventory. Because I remember correctly, I still did have something in my inventory that was just money-wise and nothing else. There's Stardust. Sell 2 Stardust. Technically speaking, you can find more Stardust by just finding Staryus and just beating them around. Nugget right here. Good. And then the big Pearl. Sell as well. There we go. And now back to buying stuff. The shop also contains a Hyper Potion, which is actually really good to grab. I'm going to grab myself more Great Balls, though, so there we go. Very good. Now we have 60 Great Balls, Revives. I am pretty sure I'm going to Revives. Yes, I am. Max Repels. I don't typically buy some, but I'll buy 5 of them because they're better than Super Repels, but they're worse outright because they only do 250 steps instead of 300, but potato. I don't care that much. Hi, scientists conduct experiments in the brand Nut building. You know, the ones they call the Pokémon Mansion. We'll be checking that out next, but first, go in this building right here and you're seeing the Pokémon Lab. Hey. We study Pokemon extensively every day. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination. Yes, they do, because there's 3 rooms in this building. You want to check this room first, because this old man's interesting. Oh, they're giving him a Raichu? Would you agree to trade for my Electrode? No. Technically speaking, that's an easy trade for Electrode. It's just a Pokemon that's very good. I found this remarkable fossil inside Mount Moon. I think it's a rare prehistoric Pokemon. Interesting. The lady here, hi, do you have a banana? I want to trade it for my Tangela. This is really the only time you can really get a Tangela very early before you can find one. You can find them technically right before Pallet Down if you go surfing up, but at the same time, you know, Tangela's kind of bad. It's a physical wall Pokemon for a grass typing, which really only helps it against poison and flying, but nothing else. I'll teach you a nifty move. Teach it to a Pokemon, watch it fun unfold. It's a move called Metronome. Does it strike your fancy? Metronome wasn't TM back in RBY, but this time it's actually a move that you can learn and teach other Pokemon. It's basically a move that will do any random move in the entirety of Pokemon, including legendary Pokemon moves, but I'm not going to teach it. Eevee can evolve into 1 of 3 kinds of Pokemon. Yeah, that's taken from the original game. Nowadays, there's like, what, 8 evolutions now, which is actually admittedly pretty long. Alright, this one's actually quite important because, first, I'm looking for the Pokemon Penota. Want to trade for my Seal? No. That's a very bad ripoff. You do not want to do that. Trust me on this. There's a PC here as well, but there's also somebody important here by talking to this man right here. Hiya! I'm an important doctor. Yes, very much so indeed. Here I study rare Pokemon fossils all the time I study. You have a fossil for me? Let's give him the Helix fossil. Oh, that is a Helix fossil. It is. It's a Pokemon of Ammonite, a Pokemon that already extinct. My extraction machine will make that Pokemon live again. Yo, you hurry and give me that. Here's the Helix fossil. Take a little time. Go for a walk a little while. By walk, he means literally leave the room, then go back in the room. You're late. Where were you? Your fossil is back to life. It was Omnite, like I think. Omnite is in the PC, and you can basically get it for whatever point, and I should have nicknamed it Lord Helix. Darn it. Well, let's give him the Aerodactyl Hammer, which I already talked about, which is actually the Pokemon Aerodactyl, which is a very good Pokemon. Pokemon that's already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again. So, you hurry and give me that. Here you go. Take a little time. Go for a walk for a little while. By that, I mean literally outside the door and then go back in. And you'll still say, we are late, no matter what, every single time. You were late. Your fossil was back to life. And was Articuno, Aerodactyl, I think. Want to give a nickname for Aerodactyl? No. There's places in box 2. Alright, let's check out the Omanyte and Aerodactyl, because both can be really good if you really want them for your team. Omanyte's a very good special wall, while the Pokemon Aerodactyl is a great offensive threat. One problem, they're all level 5. Yeah, I wasn't kidding why I said I didn't recommend them all that well. Jolly Nature is plus speed, that's not good. Mild Nature is plus special attack, and Aerodactyl is a physical attacker. Yeah, I kind of got a shot in the foot. If you want to know when you can technically check for the natures, you technically could just reset every single time right in front of the man, and you could technically get a better nature. But since I'm not using either of them on my team, I'm not going to do it. Frankly honest, I don't really use fossils in the older games. Simply because when you get them, it's too early, and the levels you get them for are pretty bad. Now, the gym's right here. You made me thinking, can I go to the gym? The door is locked. You cannot go in that Cinnabar gym, Island Gym, for playing whatsoever. Wanna know why? Because the ability to get in there is not in there. Cinnabar Island's Blaine is quite the odd fellow. He lived on the island since way before the lab was built. But since we're here, let's check out the Cinnabar Island, Fiery Town, and Burning Desire, and check out a unique place. This is the Pokémon Mansion, a burnt-down laboratory home to several Pokemon. You can find a lot of familiar faces as well, but one of the Pokemon you can find very often is Rattatas, Rickates, which are admittedly very annoying because Rattata and Rickate are pretty obnoxious Pokemon. You can also find Fire Red, Leaf Green exclusives, Vulpix, and Growlithe. And then you can find Pokemon that are, well, Pokemon we've seen Team Rocket use several times throughout our playthroughs, but we haven't seen them in a while. And I cannot escape a Rickate of all things. Really? Let me out! I don't care! Get me out of here! Great. Looks like I'm gonna be using Sparky all the time because guess what? Rickate's apparently too fast for a dang Snorlax. Really? Really? Thank you. Have a good day. I technically could use Repels, but I really do want to catch some Pokemon here, and I frankly have to. So let's switch our Pokemon around and make sure we're good in this. So, there are 2 Pokemon, and their evolutions are also available here. First one being the Pokemon known as Grimer. It is a poison type that's more on the special side of things, and frankly speaking, it's a very good poison type. However, and since also a pure poison type, it has all the weaknesses of the poison type, meaning it's going to take heavy hits from ground type moves, and also bad moves, psychic attacks. Technically speaking, it's actually a very good choice if you want to pick a Pokemon that's actually a special wall, but not much else. They can really only take hits on nothing much. There's other Pokemon that are better at it, in my opinion, because, frankly, a pure poison type in this generation is actually a bad idea because it's super weak to a lot of types, and the only type it's strong against is literally just Tangela and no one else. And there's a trainer here. Whatever. Well, you said my thing where he goes. Okay, back to what we was talking about. You can also find Devil All form Muck, which is more of the same, just bigger bulk. Which is admittedly a very good idea if you want a bulky Pokemon. As you saw previously, it's been a pain in the neck no matter what I do. You can also find a exclusivity of Coughing if you're playing Fire Red a lot more, because it's actually a lot easier to find Coughing in Fire Red than it is in finding Leaf Green. Coughing is a physical wall, and is known to, well, blow up sometimes. If you really don't want to use it and rather get a Pokemon that can actually handle it. However, the another benefit of Coughing over Grimer, if I've noticed, is the fact that it has the ability Levitate, which allows it to avoid any ground-type damage, meaning it only has one weakness, being Psychic types. Which is admittedly a good thing, but at the same time, it really doesn't benefit a Pokemon typing that really prefers having Pokemon physical attack-wise. Besides that, though, it does the same things that all the poison types usually do, such as using moves that generally grab poison, and nice static, and generally just do the same thing. You also find the Evolved Form Weezing more exclusive in Fire Red. It's more of the same, just bigger bulk, and not much else. So, we're done with all the Pokemon in the actual mansion. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There's not many Pokemon here in this mansion. You can also find Ditto at the bottom floor, but it's not exactly worth talking about. We've already talked about it before. Ditto is generic. A secret switch. Press it? Yes. Who wouldn't? The obvious answer. Secret switch? Who wouldn't? But everything I've found so far is this been blasted Rickate. Why? I will never know. Rickate is useless to anyone who wants to play Pokemon. Like, the only thing it's good for is taking hits and not much else. Although I wish it wouldn't use Pursuit. It looks like it has a berry on it this time. Yeah, some Pokemon technically do have berries on them, but this is admittedly one of the small cases that can happen. Let's use Shockwave. I think this will knock it out at least, because I don't want to waste Thunderbolt PP. There we go. Since it is evolved Pokemon, since it is evolved, it does give more experience, but at the same time, I'd rather not waste my time with this dang pointless Pokemon. Although I keep finding Racates, I would like to find a dang Grimer at least. You're finding Grimer more exclusivity in LeafGreen versus Fire Red players finding it at a lower percent of the encounter. Because that's admittedly how it works. Since we moved that switch, we can actually go through this door we saw before, and now we can actually take this item. This item contains a protein, which is for physical attackers, which will definitely benefit a lot. Either my dang George or Tank will definitely prefer this, but I think I'm going to give it to George mainly because he needs more physical offense, and I frankly will use it. Anyway, I might as well do that anyway because I really have to use these. Calcium, I'm giving this to Sparky because Sparky needs a lot more special offense, but I'm going to give the Zinks all the Tank because Tank is the special defensive wall of my team, and I'm going to need this. Everyone has their own place in this team. Usually, I just generally prefer certain Pokemon over the others. Protein, let's give this to a physical attacker like George because George is going to need it. Glimmer right now is a bit higher level than everyone else, which is admittedly one of the bad things. Because I kind of need to make Glimmer at least somewhat higher level because, unfortunately, the next gym leader coming up is a rough one, if you catch my drift. Alright, this is getting annoying. Can I stop finding Racates? You know what? I know what to do. I'm just going to cut out every single Racate. By the way, since we pressed that switch, this door has been raised up. You need to press that Mewtwo switch. Not that switch. You need to press a switch that Pokemon switch every single time. You cannot do anything else. And I'm getting sick and tired of running into Pokemon. You know what? I was trying to find two Pokemon in particular in this area because I know I can find Weezing in Fire Red exclusivity. But Fire Red players get that, and Muck comes in LeafGreen. So you switch, press it, turn it back off. Alright, that's good. And let's go downward instead so we can actually get past that area. We're not climbing the stairs yet. We want to check everything else first in this floor. Which is nothing. We can't actually do anything here anymore. Alright, it's just opened that wall, so we might as well just go back down and go up that staircase, because there's nothing else to do here. Alright, let's go in that way. There's no items here. Okay. So, let's go up to the second floor. Second floor has, well, another trainer here. Hello. I can't get out. This whole place is one big puzzle. So you fight me instead of doing it. Okay. Okay, burglar. Okay, the burglars are actually here just to try to steal things, and you stole a starter. What a monster! That's it. Shock attack. Thunderbolt attack. You deserve this. So much. So much. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Let me guess. The next one's Charmeleon. Yep, I was right. This technically would be the dex entries for you if you did not get either Pokemon. So, for example, let's say you decide to go for the Squirtle starter. This is generally where you can find the Pokemon that you're going to need to get for the dex entries if you want to. But besides that, though, as you see, Glimmer's going to one-shot a lot of things. In fact, Glimmer's going to do all the heavy lifting in the next gym battle. Oh no, my bag of loot! Yes, indeed, your loot has been looted! Good day, sir. The switch is here, open and close alternating sets of doors. Yep. So, technically speaking, we want to find every single door. But first, let's go and grab this item before the door closes. We found a zinc. More kitchen zincs to throw at people. Ha ha ha. And repulsive effect wore off. You know what? I'm not even partial to this. Oh, look, I found a Vulpix. Well, that's generally better than what I can grab, but at the same time, I don't really like Vulpix all that much. If I was playing RBY, I wouldn't like it more, but I'm not, and it generally... Okay. I was worried I was going to get burned and have to go back and heal, because that's obnoxious, because Will-O-Wisp is a Ghost-type move instead of a Fire-type move. So 1, 2, 3, Lick. Alright, Vulpix was easy. Compared to the last Vulpix I tried to catch, as you know. If you wouldn't know, then I did probably cut that out. It roared me. When I was born, it just had one snow white tail. The tail split into tips as it grows older. Trust me, Ninetales' entry is a lot more gruesome. Ninetales' entry is if you pull the tail, you're cursed for life. No, I am not kidding. It is a very scary Pokemon if you're not careful. So let's go and grab a Calcium. There's a lot of items here that will be good if you really want to boost your stats of your Pokemon in general. Although, if I keep finding Racates, I'm going to be more and more annoyed, because generally speaking, you need to reach 60 Pokemon in your Pokedex at the end of the game. Before the Elite Four, at least. There is a book here. Let's go read! Well, never mind. I can find Grimer. Well, this will be easy for Pokemon Dex entries because Grimer is easy. Grimer is actually like 30% encounter rate. I'm surprised I didn't encounter it before. It's a little bit annoying how I couldn't find it. Okay. Oh, well, wowie, wowie. It's a stinging disable. What all shall I do? Trust me, I'll be going into an idea thing later, which will be the most annoying thing in the game because for Fire Red players, they get so good things. Alright, Grimer's been caught at least. Here's an add to the Pokedex. It appears in a filthy area as it thrives by sucking up polluted sludge that was pumped up out of factories. Technically speaking, it's a very good cleaner, but it smells horrible. Yeah, not kidding. They made a lot of garbage Pokemon over the years. Hey, look at Trubbish. Diary, July 5th, Yanya, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. Suspicious. Hey, of course. Well, that was annoying. It was just a Vulpix. Really, not much else. Let's go up the stairs. And we're on the last floor. We can go right. Please stop. I don't need Rattata. I really do not. And I don't care for Eradicate in the slightest. Please. That would be great. Ironically enough, I probably can get away with using George and just beating around the dang Pokemon here because I do not care. There's an item over here. Hey, Blasted Grimers. Iron. Alright, good for physical defensive Pokemon, which is something I don't actually have on my team. The only one that really does it is Blasted Tank, but he's not really known for physical defending. Alright, who wouldn't? That's it. That's it. I'm getting Repels back up. I do not care in the slightest. Alright, let's go down again, and this time we can actually find a scientist. Scientist. Supreme! My mentor once lived here. This was originally a laboratory, so who knows about the scientist known as Brandon. Send out Magnemite. I picked a good time to actually pick George, because right now, I have Pokemon that are actually weak against George. Gravity Chopper! I was looking for a critical. I was kind of hoping for that critical. Darn it! I wanted the critical. Alright, that's generally easy. Magneton. Well, I better hope Cross Chop lands, because I don't think Cry Chop will actually knock this thing out. There we go. Does it get a critical? Come on, please. Oh. Well, it's 100 damage still. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone! Alright, a lot of experience, though. Voltorb. I don't have much of a choice now, because it's Voltorb, and it's blasted annoying. George, come back. Go on, Anarchy. Wow, I forgot how low in experience he was left. Darn it. Well, Thrash. I don't have many options when it comes down to that. So, yep, pretty much. Very, very easy. Anarchy leveled up to 41. Soon. I can almost taste it. Alright, that's it out of the way, and whoa, overwhelmed. Yes, indeed, you are very overwhelmed indeed. Let us see what you have to say after I kicked your rear end. So, you're stuck, try jumping over the fence over there. Okay, there's also a hidden item here. Item finder is saying something here, and there is an item. One rare candy. I will not be using that immediately because I frankly don't need to because I have the experience share. So let's go and go down here and instead get this item over here you can't get otherwise. HP up. Good for HP Pokemon such as my tank. And there's nothing else here, so that was just it for the HP up. The rocks there actually do prevent you from going other areas. Watch this. See? I can't exactly leave that area. Just making sure you have an understanding of how this area works because this area can be very convoluted if you're not careful. That bush has always been a trap. Alright, let's go down this stairwell because we have to go and check out. We see we're trapped. Yes, technically speaking, that switch only activates all of them and nothing else. We gotta go front or back. Secret switch. Let's just press it. Who wouldn't? And no, not again. Let's just go down this way instead. In fact, go to the other one because we gotta go to the other one in order to get there. Let's go to you because actually, we haven't gone on these stairs yet. Alright, there's another diary entry here, but first let's grab the item, which is a max potion, which heals your HP all the way up. And we're off. Diary, February 6th. Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Suspicious. This place is, like, huge! Is this a burglar or is this a scientist? He's probably a burglar. Yes, he is! A burglar known as Simon. Delmont, is that you? Well, he has a Ninetales. Remember when I was talking about Ninetales? Well, it's dangerous. Because it has special bulk and speed going on with it. Though, I couldn't really show it off given the fact that you use Quick Attack, which is priority move. Really? That's it. Rock Slide's definitely going to do a lot of damage, though. Will you stop spamming Quick Attack? I swear, it's like everything under the sun has to spam that move, no matter what, because it's obnoxious and stupid. Literally, the only thing that outbeats it is Extreme Speed or Sucker Punch. Hiya! 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 I wonder where my partner went. Well, he's down below, buddy. Well, let's go and heal up the Pokemon we have, because unfortunately, I need that healing. Although I'm probably going to sell the X items because I frankly don't use X items even when I have to, because they really don't benefit well in battle at all. Like, you use them, but then your Pokemon gets fainted, and you're like, ah, crud. You're better off just using another item in general, or rather using a move that boosts stats, like Bulk Up, for example, Dragon Dance, anything that's actually better, because they boost more than one stat. Although, I really wish I could find a mug, because it's 5% encounter rate. It's not that bad compared to, dang, I don't know, 1% encounter rate of Dragonair. That's admittedly one of the things I have problems with, but at the same time, potato, potato. Press the switch, who wouldn't? So, the switch is impressed. Let's actually go down south. Hey, I was just talking about you, muck. Well, that's at least convenient. Rock Slide. Let's see if I get a flinch off the Rock Slide. Yay for flinching! Do it again. Can't we have another flinch out? Come on, give me another flinch. Oh, no. On the plus side, I have Aerial Ace, so I don't even have to use it if I don't want to. Plus, I can catch this dang wild muck. I don't even need to evolve Grimer. Alright, let's go see. 1. Aw. Well, that sucks. Here we go again. You're gonna use and minimize every turn, then smack me with a poison move. I'll just switch to Anarchy to stop that. Straight Ultra Ball instead. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Well, there's Screech. Not fun. I halfway tempted to use Karate Chop, but at the same time, I'm not sure if it will knock it out. Yes, it did. Dang it, critical hits. Yep, there I goes, Muck. Sorry, Muck. I did not mean to knock you out, but it's a good amount of experience for me. Alright, alright, alright. That's a little saddening, but there's a diary entry over here as well. Diary, July 10th. We've christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. A lot of diary entries are, well, out of place. I'm gonna switch my team around because I'm running into a lot of Pokemon that are weak to dang Anarchy. And the fact that I haven't used them to get more level ups is sad. Really? Racates? Really? I don't have patience for you. You're annoying. Go away. Thank you. Good day, sir. I'm Willy Wonka. Oh, I'm back to repelling because I'm sick and tired of this. I really don't care about these stinging idiots. Come on, game. Don't ever do this to me again. Super repel. It'd be redundant to ever use an escape rope when you have a Pokemon with dig. Nope, nothing. Alright, I was just making sure everything was gotten here, and it was gotten, so let's go down steps instead. We got no other area we can do here, so let's go down these steps, go down here. Generally speaking, there are gates over there that I want to get to, but at the same time, I can't reach there because there's certain switches you have to press. Generally speaking, every switch hits that one, but we need to press every switch in order to actually, well, stop this thing from happening. Switch is pressed here, but at the same time, I believe it's a bit tricky to understand this one. Because I remember this one being where I was stuck on it for the longest time. And believe me, you will be stuck on this for the longest time. It's one of the most annoying things in the game. Generally speaking, I think that the way to get there is by first pressing the other switch that's down here. I wish I didn't have to go all the way to the front to press the switch. Thank you. Turn it off, and then let's check to see the other side. It's still open. It gets open, and then there's 2 gates here. So what we need to do instead is to get down to the basement no matter what. In order to get to the basement floor, we need to actually hit the switch in the correct order. We need to get to a staircase. Dang it, game. 200 steps is not long enough. Darn it. By the way, I made a point. I'm cutting out the random battles if I don't need them because really, it's a pointless waste of time. Alright, let's go try to find the way out because I frankly need to get some stairwells. Come on. I'll cut it until I get to there. Be right back. You know, I completely forgot that I can just do that instead. Man, I'm dumb. Who are you? There shouldn't be anyone here. You need to jump off the cliff. Yep, that is exactly how you do it. Ted has an electrode. I'm gonna go use dig and it's gonna blow up in my face. Right? I was right. I did it again. Man, the AI is dumb. Man, they are so stupid. And, well, I have to switch now because that Weezing's not gonna get hit by dig at all. Oh no. Glimmer, let's go back out here. Well, Glimmer's gonna level up soon, which is actually pretty good for Glimmer because next gym is gonna definitely need it. Although, I really do wish their levels were higher because Ace level 30 on a gym leader, it's actually gonna be near close to level 50, is very auspicious if you catch my drift. Level 40, really good on Glimmer, when now with 101 speed. Really good to have. Ouch! Yes, indeed. Ouch. Now let's know with that, we can actually go down these steps and actually check things out. Let's first go and get this item, this Carboast, which is admittedly really good to grab. Now let's go down to the basement floor instead. Alright, Pokémon Mansion's basement floor does have Ditto, like I already previously mentioned, but that's pretty much the only real change, I'll admit. There is somebody over here, let's go fight him. Uh-oh, where am I now? You're lost. You're never gonna escape again, burglar. You're going to stay here forever, Lewis. Well, there's a dang Growlithe in front of me, and it has Intimidate. You know, I really sometimes do hate Intimidate when it's against me, but if it's with me, then I really love it. But I don't get many options to use Pokemon with Intimidate ability, because I generally don't pick Pokemon that have Intimidate, except for some exceptions. Like, I'd say the earliest time I ever did Pokemon with Intimidate Pokemon, I think it was Gen 4, where I picked Luxray a lot. But that's just besides the point, because that Pokemon is like generally everyone's first electric type when they do Pokemon Gen 4. And playing Platinum was fun. Yeah, Platinum's one of my favorite Gen 4 games, but really, who can say anything bad about Platinum? Giratina's the best box art of any legendary that we've ever seen in the entirety of the years. The fact that I never remake the game is very annoying. Lewis has been defeated. Ow! Yep, indeed. Alright, he's gone, and I can actually go and check this item. September 1st. Mewtwo was far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. It's like they failed at whatever experiment they were creating, and the Mewtwo is unfortunately not able to be controlled. And you already understand what happened probably at the very end of it. Okay, that's a long distance reach. What the heck? This place is ideal for a lab. Look at all the space. Space that was destroyed. So, Scientist Ivan, what do you have? A Magnemite. I'm not threatened. Well, that's easy for me. Great. Pow! Alright, that's the only dang Magnemites at least. It's not exactly threatening. Well, done with that. Glimmer gained more experience, and Electrode again. Wait a minute, am I gonna do it again, where I can just talk, dig, and explosion? Alright, dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a wall. Electrode, will you be a doll and just go boom? Oh, nope, different boom. It's Sonic Boom. You know, I think the AI just doesn't do it because they know very well that if they do some explosion, they're losing. Which is mainly what they don't want to do. So, yeah, I kind of understand why. What was that for? Because you attacked me right when I was walking forward. I like it here. It's connected for my studies. Interesting. I need to make sure I have repels up. The effects of repel is still lingering from earlier. Alright, whatever. So, there are items here. There's actually an item right here. In fact, TM14 containing Blizzard, a better version of Ice Beam. If you want to use this on Articuno, I'd highly recommend it because it has Mind Move for the ability. If you press the secret switch, by the way, this happens. Instead, the top path is open, left path is open, so we're actually good. There's actually an item here which you need to grab. You found the secret key. This key is important for you in general, and the effects wore off. There's actually another item here, TM22, containing Solar Beam. If you have Sunny Day and Solar Beam together, Solar Beam will, no matter what, always activate. It's a grass type move with 100 power and 100% accuracy. So I actually would recommend it on your grass type if you can manage to pull it off. Later games, there's items called the Power Herbs that allow you to basically do the same effect, but generally speaking, you want to use this on a grass type that can actually take advantage of it. Because the combo of Solar Beam and Sunny Day actually does work. One problem with it, though. The move is very, very touch and go if you want to pick her up Pokemon. Ironically enough, I might as well show it off. But funny thing happens when you try to teach it to a Pokemon that's not a grass type. In fact, the Pokemon that can learn it very often is, ironically enough, your starter Pokemon for fire types. But Drag cannot learn it, but Typhlosion, on the other hand, can learn this move. It's silly. You can technically, I've done this before in Coliseum and XD. Coliseum has Pokemon that actually do have this move unlocked on their team. If you teach this move to Typhlosion and it has Sunny Day Up, it generally will do 100% power no matter what. It's really powerful, especially against Pokemon that are generally weak to that move, and it's actually a very good idea. I liked using that idea a lot back in that game, but admittedly, it's touch and go when it gets to work. So that's pretty much it for the Pokémon Mansion, and that's pretty much it for it entirely. We also have the secret key. The secret key is actually required for one particular thing. Let's leave the bottom area, because it takes us outside the mansion and Cinnabar Island. And with this key, we can now go inside the gym. However, I think we're going to end this off right here. Next time on Pokemon LeafGreen, we will be taking on the Cinnabar Gym, and leading us to the gym leader that gave us some trouble getting in the Pokemon Mansion. See you all next time.